FaceTime. Okay. Hi guys, welcome to TeamGA's 1328 podcast. Today we are going to talk about blue cards from the new booster box BT14 that will be released in 13th August. And we have Elski and QJ to discuss about the archetype overview, which we are going to do now. So take it away, Elski.
All right, nice to meet you guys. My name is Elski. Today we'll be talking about primarily the blue cards. So as we can see on the screen now, what we have here, which is the new Trunks card. And these blue cards are actually themed at the movie Path of the Dragon. So it's one of my favorite movies, especially for what Goku does in the movie as well. So to start off, Trunks. I think Trunks is a really interesting plays a very interesting role in this movie as well. So the opposing leader will also be Hugh Began. So this set is more of like a thematic set. This blue set is really more of a thematic set that is ongoing. Yeah. So to kick off to talk about this blue set, among all the other colors that I've seen from this set, right? I think blue is by far the most disappointing color. Yeah, underwhelming. It was the most underwhelming among all the colors because there really isn't any form of like special mechanic or like very special innuendos that makes the deck very special. So I'll start off with the Trunks leader first. So the Trunks leader effect is that when this card is placed on your leader area, activate up to one music box, foreboding music box from your deck. So that is a few card. I'll later talk to you about it later down the line. It is a very basic leader where when this card attack, you just draw one. When your life is at 4 less life, you can awaken and draw one card and switch it up to one energy to active.
Yeah, so, I think that it could be better like having an alternative Awaken skill, do you think? Like it is quite boring to have such a vanilla leader that you just hit and draw one, awaken at 4 life and nothing else.
Yeah, correct. So like if it had the effect like how like Gohan had or how like the new Vegeta had that when you play a unison you were to awaken, I think it'll be a lot better. Because the thing is that the whole archetype actually kind of revolves around how the unison is played. So this is a very interesting leader at the back side because the thing is that during your opponent turn, if basically your blue union's card is removed, you can add up to one Tapian Sword. There is an extra card that can be talked about later, and the extra card is actually really useful in this whole deck. So the activate main is actually one of the key factors as to why this leader is still somewhat decent, because the thing is that when you activate main, you spirit boost one. If you have a blue unison card, 3 specified costs or more in play, right? This card can gain double shot. So it works for even like 4 cost unisons or like 3 cost unisons, which is like a lot of the good unisons that are out there. So it also plus 5k, so naturally this kind of like heavy offense that once you activate main, you can just swing it for like 20k double strike. Generally a very decent leader, but I feel that it could be better with the form of design that is. So
I also think that there could be better plays with the leader, like because it gains 5k on the activate main, so we can maybe use cards like the expansion Bardock that just came out from the Saiyan expansion. When you combo this card, you can spirit boost additionally, untap your leader and allows you to attack again. So I think that's quite strong.
Yes, correct. So this I have to agree that you are able to attack another time with the new expansion Bardock. Yeah. So I think we can go down and talk about the other cards. So now this is for the Hugh Degan. So I will pass it to QJ.
Okay, I guess I'm QJ. So I will be talking about the Hugh Degan leader. So firstly, if you guys look at the chunk of text, Hugh Degan has so much text, but it's one of the better leaders that we have right now. That has been designed right now. Okay, so basically what it does is that whenever you attack, you can take up to a life and look at top 5 of the cards of your deck, and you can take any card. Shuffle your deck, and then you have to discard a card. Of course, if you think that discarding a card is bad, there are cards in the Hugh Degan engine that allows it to be better. We will be discussing about that afterwards. So the Awaken skill is that if we have 4 or less life, or we have one blue Minutia and one blue Tapir in the drop area, we can awaken by drawing one, switch up to one energy to active mode, and take our life to down to 5.
All the way down to
Please.
5. Okay. And
So, So, however, after awakening, you will lose the ability to look for any cards by looking top 5, and you will just be a draw one vanilla leader like when you attack. However, you gain a skill that whenever one of your blue battle card evolves, you can draw a card. This is important because it says blue battle card. So it don't have to just be like Hero the Gun cards. You can maybe, if you want to, you can play other stuff to. There's evolve skill and draw more cards. There's some interesting plays, I'll say. And there's also an activate battle where you can place 2 cards that under one of your blue or green battle card in the owner's drop, and then you can choose up to one of your card to gain 5k power. So because as you can see, this archetype is like an evolve archetype, so you might have more cards stacked under the main body, and which you can remove and then gain an additional 5k power for the battle.
Okay.
Quite
so let's move on to the next step.
Correct. So this is Tepion the Hero Revive. Okay, this is the unison for the set that is being played. The
Hero
Trunks.
Revived.
Yes, correct.
Yes.
So what my personal take about this Tepion leader is that personally it's a very hard card to remove if you really try to, because the thing is that it draws one, even though you switch itself into rest mode, it plus 2 markers, and you draw 1 card also, so it's a hand surplus. Then after that, the fact that the leader is at 19k makes it really, really hard to remove.
The unison.
Yeah, correct. So the thing is that there's also another option that you can use, that you can choose up to one of your mono blue leader cards and it gains 10,000 power for the turn. So instead of using the draw effect, you can opt for the plus minus 0. Then after that, your leader, let's say for example, you're going with Trunks. The leader is able to, if you have spirit boosted him, he's able to go into 25k double strike. Yeah, so there's also another interesting effect, which is once you spirit boost with this card. So when you spirit boost with this card, right, you can choose up to one of your opponent battle card with energy cost greater than or equal to the current energy and return it to the hand. So upon spirit boosting, you naturally tend to remove all the bigger threats that are normally available in the deck, and which is why I feel that be it that sometimes if you want to do for the draw, you have no attack, but then you still get to remove some threats off the deck as well. So I think we can go down to talk about the other unison.
The SPR though. Okay.
The SPR looks very sick, man.
Yeah, most of the SPR in this set looks really good, like a portrait style. So we have Hoi, Bringer of Calamity.
Yeah, Hoi, Bringer of Calamity is one of the primary unison that you play with Hero the Gun, I suppose. However, I believe that Hoi don't have to be the only unison that you run in Hero the Gun, because it's good to have, but not a must. So basically, if you look at the card, what it does is that on the +1, we draw a card, and then we choose 1 card to discard it. So, and the -3 is that you can add up to 1 Phantom Demon, which are Hero the Guns, which have an energy cost of 7 or less from the drop area, and then you add it to your hand. So because if you remember the Hero the Gun leader, you can on attack, you look top 5, you can take any card, and you drop the card to your drop area. So you can maybe drop a Phantom Demon that costs 7 or less, and use the Hoi's ability later in the game and take it back to your hand, so you don't lose that much either. Also, if you realize Hoi has an auto, if your leader is a blue Phantom Demon against Hero the Gun, and it's your turn, when you play a battle card from a drop area, you add a marker. So later I'll be telling you why this is important, but we can just move on for now.
Okay, so SS3.
So we jump into the battle cards. And this battle card is when I feel that what makes this set a bit more lacking than other cards.
Yeah.
Which is that the cost to get to here is actually a bit harsh for the deck as well. Because the thing is that it has deflect, it doesn't have any other things. The skills is not really that stellar, in the sense that you have to use another card to supplement with this card. So for this card, right, it has deflect. So if your leader is blue, when this card attacks, you get it plus 5,000 power. And if you have a blue unison card specified 3, switch this card to active mode, and it gains double strike for the turn. It's basically a dual attack. Then on the second hit, it will be a double strike. So there's also another activate way that you can play this for 4. and
It
play this
actually
card.
gains double strike on the first hit already because
Oh, really?
when you attack, you
Oh
gain
yeah,
the
when
double
it's,
strike
when, when it's when
already.
you
Yeah,
attack and you have a 3-cost innocent.
yeah,
Yeah, correct.
exactly.
Sorry, my bad. So, when you activate, there's also another option to play is that when you can spirit boost 1 and play it for 4, and you can play this card from your hand. So it's another option to play it, but there is a downside where this, if you do not have a God Sealing technique or anything like that during your hand, this card can just be easily get charismatic, Frieza charismatic villain away off the board. So it is a very heavy investment for the deck. It is a very heavy energy investment.
Yeah, honestly, as a 5 energy 30k to attack double strike, it's not really worth it. Like
Yes, correct.
since you can play SCRs right now for like 5 energy also, so it's really not that great of a card.
Yeah, correct.
So it's
you
an
would
optional
rather
card
use
to
a
include in your deck, I guess.
yes, correct.
Yeah.
So you normally would rather use like other blue cards to supplement with the deck as well. And right now the blue cards are getting better and better from the older sets, so they tend to supplement better. Yeah, so we can just move
This
on.
is a
Actually, honestly, the Super Saiyan Goku, as a vanilla, is actually okay because it's another card that's called Super Saiyan Goku.
Yes, correct.
for the
So
namesake.
yes, correct.
There's like Veku from set 5, if I'm not wrong, that allows you to take Super Saiyan Goku, specifically that particular name. Right, yeah.
Yeah, doesn't it have to be BR or no,
No,
it's
no,
no,
it
no,
finds the
it's
name,
a
right?
blue
Right,
card,
it
it's a
finds
blue
the name.
card,
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
So
So now we talk
Challenger.
about the first SR from the blue set. So it's Son Goku, the Calamity Challenger. This by far is what I feel like a very decent card. But then the thing is that
Sorry.
its effect of because the thing is that you can play it off 1 as long as you have 3 energy, and you get a draw off the card. It has deflect, so for the most part, this card is very. For the most part, this card is like quite safe from like God Sealings or like getting Yamcha. But and the power is at 15,000. So it's still generally quite a good card still. But this is where I get the gripe from the card, which is that activate main limit 1, spirit boost 1, and 2 energy. The fact that you can only use the effect once and you still have to spirit boost a card to tap 2, you get the leader must be a Trunks Youth. So this card is only applicable to play when you are playing the new set. So you can play up to 1 mono blue Son Goku from your deck, energy cost of 6 from your deck or drop area, and play on top of this card. Negate the card's keyword skill for the game, and then shuffle your deck if you go through. Now, the biggest problem that I have with this card is that the card that is played on top will have any skills, any keyword skills that is being negated. So although autos works, but then the thing is that keyword skills being negated will actually be a very, very the card will be susceptible to a lot of like removals or
For example, like barrier and all this.
Yeah, because it won't have barrier, it won't have deflect. So God Sealing technique, charismatic villain, Yamcha, anything.
And the fact that a lot of things can hit the 6 cost card is the problem of like why I don't really like this card. And it is negated for the game, and that's the problem. If it's negated for the turn, it could still be safe for the next turn.
Right. So
but
it comes
when
down to
it's
be like a
negated for
vanilla
the
for the
game,
game.
yes, correct. So you wouldn't have like the specified barrier, the specified deflect, that kind of thing that will affect the card. So this is why I feel that it's quite a weak card in the sense that yes, the activate means you get to play 1, you get to draw 1 card, but that is all the effect it does.
Yeah, honestly, I wouldn't see someone activating the second effect as often as the first one. The first one is really not bad. Having a 15k deflect blocker body just and draw 1 is really very good.
Yes, correct. It is a really, really good card in terms of like using the first effect, because it is still a body, it is still a blocker, and you replenish this card from your hand. So regardless of what happens to this card, you still get a draw 1 off the card. So you can cycle your deck even if it gets removed as well. So yeah. I think we can move on about the other cards. So this is a super combo.
It's just your typical 4-life draw 1 super combo. Yeah.
Yes, so after that,
much
we
we really can talk about.
So Gohan Adolescence. Okay, next one.
Okay, so this is the Great Saiyaman combo Justice. So this card is actually one of like the more decent card that I feel that is in this deck. Because for the sole reason that, right, if your leader is a blue trumps, basically the card with if you have the unison, you can play this out for 1 energy. And this card is actually a 20k, a 3-cost 20k. So what it means is that it's actually a really hard hitter that can be played out of 1 energy. And not only that, right, correct, there's also a second activate main, which is a Spirit Boost 1. So if your leader card is a blue trunks youth, or like you can play up to 1 Videl, which is also 20k from the deck, with the skills negated, then shuffle your deck if you play a card. And place this card in the bottom of the deck. So let's say, for example, if you Spirit Boost 1, then after your swing with this card, let's say for example you have to play this card out, you can swing with this card, you Spirit Boost 1, then you put this card to the bottom of your deck. Then after that, you can play out Videl first, shuffle your deck, then put this card under. Then after that, you have another 20k attacker which is on the board. So I think it's the next card that is
no, I don't think it is. Yeah.
It's just
okay, so this is a basic searcher. It lets you to search.
Yeah.
It allows you to search for the archetype.
Yeah, it's your common searcher, and then now you have Goten fully powered.
So okay. To be honest, I don't think that this card is any much good. Because the fact that of the high energy cost and to play out a Goten, which is at 4 cost, it's not really that spectacular.
Basically, what it does is that you can pay 2 blue and any color energy, and while you have 4 or more energy, you can discard this card and a Trunks Youth card in your hand to play a mono blue Gotenks that costs 4 from your deck or hand. Sorry. Then if you play something from your deck, you can shuffle your deck. So basically, there aren't many good targets for this. I feel there's Gotenks from set 5, if I remember correctly, and set 12 Gotenks, which the set 12 one will of course be the better option, but I still don't think that this is too good of a card, because you still have to play on turn 4. You just save 1 energy, and by pitching 2 cards, I don't think that's really much.
Yeah, correct. So I mean, there are also other SR options to play with these cards with, but in general, because of the high energy cost, it's not really that ideal for most players. Yeah.
Okay, means only 3 costs for that.
Yes.
Okay, so Calamity Challenger Goten.
Yes, correct.
Seems okay.
So for this card, it's basically like a searcher that you can play. You can have it every turn as long as it's on the board. So it's just a limit 1. You type 1 blue, then you can look up. Yeah, correct.
So but the thing is, when you play something off this effect, you have to place him under your deck. So it's not that OP per se, but at least you can get it will start your cycle at least, because with the Gohan that we mentioned above, if you find a Gohan or a Videl, you can start attacking with 20k bodies and then switch to the other body, which is also a 20k, and you can start attack also.
Yes, correct.
So it's like a loop combo. Not that OP, but it just goes around.
Yes.
Okay.
Alright, so this is the negate where you can it's basically it can be a free negate if you use to Spirit Boost to the card. So like if your leader is blue, negate the attack and play this card in West mode. If you negated the leader's attack with this skill, your opponent can't attack with leader cards. So basically that normally it's for decks like Meki Kabura, that kind of thing. Yes, correct. So we can just move on from this card.
Okay.
So this is the other counterpart for the Trunks one. For the Goten one.
Yep.
So I think we can just keep carrying on.
Yeah, it has the same effect as the Goten, but vice versa, basically.
Alright. So okay, this card is actually when you have let's say for example, right, this card will actually play very well with the new Great Sire main card, where you were to tap 1 more, then after that you can play this card off your hand. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think we can talk about the
Gotenks.
Yeah, we can talk about the Gotenks.
Yeah.
So actually this Gotenks is the primary target for what the Goten and the Trunks does. So activate main, choose 1 ghost token, remove it from the game, and choose up to all 4 of your opponent energy with energy 4 cost or less, and return to your hand.
Return to your owner's hand.
Yeah, correct.
So it's a bounce.
Then if your Playable blue unison card with specified 2 or more can play one ghost token with 15,000 power. This is not really a very spectacular card. Could be better, but
I think you can have some very funny plays or interesting plays with this,
very
because if you notice that the first activate main is not a once per turn activate
Yeah,
main.
it can be spam as
Yeah.
long as you got ghost tokens to remove.
Exactly.
Yes,
So
correct.
there's something like you can attack, and if your opponent were to arrival a Goku hit during your attack, you can stack another ghost token just to bounce it back to their hand, so they can't block. They can't use the Goku hit to block the attack, and then you get another attack with something else afterwards.
Yeah.
Yes.
In the defensive state is pretty okay.
In a more offensive state.
Yeah,
Offensive state,
it's a
sorry,
more
because the arrival
correct.
happens on your turn. Okay.
Right.
And
We
the
can
spirit
go
ghost
on.
is just play
Yeah,
one
so
ghost token.
this is basically the super combo for the set where you use Spirit Boost, you can put this card under and just draw one. Yeah, correct. So we can just move on. Okay, so this is the Great Saiyaman 2 that we are talking about. So this basically the name is Patel, so you can just basically play it off the Gohan that we found just now. So it works with each other basically. Yeah. So I think we can just move on.
Okay, so this Tapion is the standard cantrip for the Hero Dragon deck. So you can look top 5 for Hero or Phantom Demon. Heroes being Tapion or Minotia, Phantom Demon being just Hero Dragon, or you can, which costs 3 or less, which is important. Because there are Hero Dragon cards which are like 5 cost, 7 cost, 9 cost, etc. And you can also find a blue unison with a specified cost of 2, which is the Hoi that we have talked about earlier.
There's quite a number of cards you can search for actually. It's pretty a useful card for this.
Yes, it's your typical turn 1 play, I'll say, in Fury the Gun, because it's one of your options to play on turn 1 rather, because it's just a good look top 5, take almost anything from the deck.
Okay. So we can go to page 2 and
Alright.
with the Calamity Challenger here.
Okay,
So this
now
Tapion,
this
Yeah,
Tapion is by far one of the best card, I feel. Yeah.
yeah,
QJ, you can elaborate more on how
yeah,
good
because
this is.
okay, so basically, what Tapion does is that you can either EX evolve for 2 blue on a Tapion that costs 2 or less, and when you play this card, you can draw a card. And so the good thing about this is that the activate main, although it's limited once, and you need to Spirit Boost once and to pay 1 blue energy. All you needed to do, and you must have a blue unison with 15k power or more. That's quite a large range actually. Like even on turn 3. So because if you remember, Tapion is a 19k power unison, Hoi is 15k power unison. So this card works well on both. Not only so, it's a 20k body which you can play off for 1 energy, double strike. It's just a very good beater, and you even draw 1 for it. So you can bring out a strong attacker and not lose any cards for it. Like I don't think there's anything bad about it, honestly.
And not to say he has a very sick SPR card.
Here we go.
Oh yeah, man.
Yes.
What's behind him? Oh yeah, it's Trunks.
Yeah,
I thought
it's
something
Trunks.
again. Okay, cool that. Then we have
Yeah,
Tapion, Vanilla Tapion. Nothing special.
Just there's nothing special about the Tapion. It's just a typical Tapion, but it's a 2 cost which you can evolve over the. You can use the SR to evolve it over, but not really an ideal play. But you know.
Okay.
Okay, so this Minotia.
is a
Okay,
blocker.
so I was mentioning, Hirudegan and Hoi needs you to discard a card for taking a card from your deck or drawing 1. This Minotia is one of the important cards, because when you place this card in your drop area, you can play him out from your drop, but it's a limit 1 auto. So once you use it using the Hirudegan's leader effect, you can't use it using the Hoi unison effect. And not only so, because when you play Minotia from the drop, Hoi's auto will activate, and you can add an additional marker to Hoi.
Okay.
Yep.
Moving on.
Okay, so
Just a draw 1.
yeah, it's your typical draw 1. But the interesting part about this card is the activate main. By paying 1 blue, you can play up to 1 blue hero from the top 7 of your deck that costs 3 or less among them. So most heroes are just Minotia and Tapion. So your targets are not that wide, because there's not really a lot of Minotia and Hoi that you really want to play off your deck. And because the SR of Tapion is a 4 cost, you can't really play that either. So I feel the best target you can play off using this Minotia is the set 5 Tapion, which allows you to take up to 2 life and return one of your opponent's better card to the top of their deck.
Okay.
Right.
I think
do
it's
you
set
still
4
use
card.
that? Do we still use
Oh.
the
If
set
I'm not,
4
if I'm
card?
not wrong, yeah.
No, but because that card it costs 3 to that particular weapon costs 3 to play. It doesn't have barrier, it doesn't have deflect. It's not really a strong card nowadays.
Oh, so you can just avoid these two guys altogether unless the archetype that suggests them comes up, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
something like that.
And we got Hirudigan now. Calamity
Okay,
complete.
so this Hirudegan honestly is very underwhelming to say.
So
Okay.
big cost.
Yeah, but honestly, even if you look at it as a 7 cost, it's not really a 7 cost because you can EX evolve him for 2 blue energy when you have 3 or more energy over Hirudegan that costs 5, which we will talk about later. But the thing is, its effect isn't really much because all you do is draw a card. You can it might look like a lot that you can draw a card, choose up to one of your opponent better card, place it at the bottom of his owner's deck, and then at the end of the turn you can switch this card to active mode and one of your energy to active mode. But the thing is, at the end of the day, this is just a 30k beater, which isn't much unless you have 4 or more energy and you send 2 hero, which is Minosha and Tetra from a drop to walk and gain triple strike. But if you think about it, it's an activate main and 30k triple strike. Yeah, exactly. Once your opponent see that
able to see that coming, yeah.
You just negate and that's it. That's your whole engine just poof.
Unless you're looking forward to bait it out, you just hope this card gets GST, but why would you play it in that case, right?
Exactly.
And here's the 5 drop that you can evolve from this to this guy, sorry.
This 5 drop, I would say, is the second best Hirudegan card that they have shown. So the reason why I say this is that you can actually play this guy out on turn 1. Turn 1, 15k, dual attack barrier is very strong. Because if you go second, the whole combo, I'll explain it later because there are some cards that needs to be explained.
Sure.
So basically, you can play him out. Even if you don't get any, because you have the EX evolve over Hirudegan for that costs 3. Even if you are not awakened, you can just EX evolve, don't miss the draw, and still get a 15k beater during turn 1 that has barrier. It's very hard to remove.
And a dual attack.
Exactly. So it's exactly. So it is a pretty good aggro card for Hirudegan, I would say. And not only so, if your opponent happen to play a 1 cost during their turn, their first turn, and you are going second, when you evolve this, you play this card, you can send the card back to their hand if it costs 4 or less.
And the best part is about this key Hirudegan card for this Hirudegan archetype is just an uncommon. So
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and so yeah, this is rare. You could do without, but we'll see why. Maybe we can make sense of this card later. So, I guess we covered this card.
There's actually also an activate main limit 1 that costs 2 blue energy. If your opponent has 4 or more energy, you can choose up to 1 green Hirudegan card with an energy cost of 6 in your hand and play on top of this card. Honestly, I don't think anyone will play a blue-green mixed engine with this Hirudegan engine because at turn 4, if you're trying to play a 6 cost green, the only green 6 cost Hirudegan is the evolution booster. Am I right? Or was it a draft box?
Draft box.
The draft box Hirudegan.
Draft box.
It has critical, if I'm not wrong, and activate battle KO this card and choose up to one of your opponent battle card and KO it. Then when that card is KO, you can go into a 4 or 9 cost Hirudegan basically, but it's kind of late at turn 4 to start the chain again.
The problem is that when you were to play the green chain will normally like surface a lot faster than how you play off this chain as well. So like the green chain is actually much more consistent, and also that it will play out itself at an earlier state than other than 4 energy, which is your turn 4 play. So you would normally not use the limit 1 too much if you want to play the green. If you were to
honestly, I wouldn't see the limit 1 activate main be used too much.
Yeah. Yes, correct.
Okay.
So Hirudegan Catastrophic Comeback. Best Hirudegan card in the whole set.
With a cost of 3, 2 specified energy blue cost, and it's a rare.
Okay. You guys might think this card is very underwhelming, but honestly, it's so strong. Okay, so firstly, what you can do is that the first activate main is that if your leader is a blue Phantom Pigment, and you choose one blue hero card in your battle area, and then you can play this card from your drop area on top of the chosen card. So normally, for example, right, you can attack with your leader, you can drop the Minotia, which is a hero card, and which allows it to be played from the
Drop area.
drop area. Exactly. So once it's played in the drop area, and you can combo this card away, or actually no, not even combo this card away, because there's other activate mains which allows it to be placed in the drop area. So skipping the second card activate main, if you look at the third activate main, limit 1. Discard this card from your hand and look up to top 7 from the deck and add up to 1 Phantom Demon card among them to your hand. So just by doing that, you just drop this card to your drop area and you can fulfill the first activate mains requirement already.
Yes, and not only that, you can also search for top 7, so like bringing you to the 5 chain even faster as well.
Exactly.
So the value is actually more from the better card, from this better card actually.
Yep. So if you remember the 5 cost, it actually only costs 1 blue to EX evolve. So once you attack with your leader, drop the Minotia, activate main on the 3-drop hero the gun to look for another card, which means you are not losing any card. Evolve it over the Minotia. Place this hero over the Minotia, and then EX evolve into the 5-drop, and you get a turn 1 15k barrier dual attack.
But you need 2 energy to pull it out, right?
No, you only need 1, because
you only need 1 energy.
Minotia is played when it's discarded from one of your blue cards from during your turn. So when your leader attacks, you can drop it from your hand to the drop area, which allows it to be played.
So you can drop the Minotia and it can be played for free.
Exactly.
Yes,
it's played for free, and then you can use this hero the gun to place it over.
Wow,
Yeah.
okay. Oh,
So after this hero gun is placed over, after you look, let's say for example, you use the card for the limit 1 effect, you can find a 5-drop, and you can just play on top of the 5-drop for 1 energy. So at turn 1, you have a 15k don't attack barrier card. So yeah, this is how good the card is actually.
Yep.
Okay, so you have and this guy will just be your main beater. What is the next step for them for this card?
The next step will be EX evolving the
7-drop.
card to 7-drop, yes.
So this is a foreboding box you're speaking of.
Alright, correct. This is the foreboding music box where you can play it off from the Trunks leader itself. So this foreboding box it's a few, basically like how King Vegeta is and how Android 1821 as well as Baby is played. So basically when you play this leader, you get to activate the card from your deck. So the feel is that you can add up to 1 card from your life and add to your hand and choose 3 cards. Look at the top 3, choose up to 1 blue Ulysses specified cost 3 and add them and shuffle to your deck. If you added a card, choose one of your card in your hand and place them in the bottom of the deck. This card effect is actually really good to help you search for the unison that you want to play it off with your other cards as well. So let's say for example for the activate main, if your opponent has 2 or more energy, place this card in the owner's drop area. Choose up to 1 Tapion Hero Revive, which is the unison, and in your hand and play it with 2 markers on it. So let's say for example, so why this card is good is that, let's say for example, if I was to activate me, I look the top 3 card, I take a unison out of it. Correct. I take a life. So I'll get a 2-card draw basically. Then after that I'll put 1 card into the drop. So this can kind of guarantee you having the 3-drop Tapion in your hand. Then not only that, you can activate main. Yes, correct. So after that, not only that, you can activate main. Let's say for example you are going second. So you can activate main and play a Tapion out. Play a Tapion out with 2 markers on it in rest mode. So it doesn't allow for the draw, but it does allow for like opening up to the GSTs, that kind of thing that you need to activate your unisons for. So this in this essence, that why this card is good is because for the very reason that you get to play out a card a 3-cost unison just like that off the field effect. But the downside is that you will lose this field lah. So it's a plus and a minus, but this card itself is what keeps the deck going, which is what makes the Trunks leader a very interesting leader as well. So that if you were to awaken early or anything like that, you can actually straight away use the Tapion to like -1 spirit boost away 1 marker and make it a double strike straight away. So it can be a 25k double strike using the Tapion smart, because the thing is that the +2 is not able to work because you have to switch the card to rest mode, but the ±0 is able to work. So yeah, that's primarily what the effect is for lah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And this is just
Yes.
Honestly,
extra card.
this card is really bad. I mean, even though it has desire, which might hint to that there is an upcoming wish leader, we don't know. But honestly, to play 4 costs, to play a Tapion or Hirudegan with energy 4 or 4 costs from the deck or drop is really not good.
Yeah,
There's a
correct.
wish leader, then let's hope it makes it good.
Yep.
Yeah, we got Tapion Sword.
Alright, so now this is Tapion Sword. It's a very, very it's one of the best blue cards that is able to be used in this aspect. Because the thing is that if you have a blue unison of more than 3, which is like basically how the whole deck is run. So you can activate better from your hand without paying a cost.
So
So
it's a free.
it's basically like basically a free card to use. So what's the effect is that activate battle, so limit 1 speed, boost 1. So you're able to only use this card once per turn. So speed boost 1, you
Makes
remove a
sense if it's
marker.
free lah. Yeah.
Yeah, correct. You remove a marker. Then if your leader is a mono blue Trunks youth, draw 1 card and choose up to 1 of your leader card or unison card and it gains 10,000 power. So it replaces itself. So noting back to how the blue Trunks work, right, is that if your unison cards get removed, you can actually get this card off the auto if he removes your unison card. So basically giving you like a 10k combo. Let's say for example playing it offensively or defensively, it both works as well. So personally, I feel that it's a really good card as to why this deck is still very, very decent. Very, very decent in terms of what it can do lah. Yeah.
Okay, and we have Unlikely Protector.
Yeah,
Is
this
just a
is
negate?
just a negate for the set. But
Yes,
it allows you to it negates the attack, and if your opponent has any token in the battle area, you can switch out to one of your mono blue energy to active mode. It's not really that useful because not many decks will require opponent to have tokens. I mean, Android 21 is an exception because you play tokens on your opponent's board, or like specifically if your opponent plays out Opuni, which allows them to play 3 tokens, or like Gotenks Leader, which they play ghost tokens, etc. But the important part about this card is that this card's skill can't be negated, so it can't be stopped like Cooler or Majin Buu, Secret Rare, etc.
Oh, so it's a sure negate.
Yep.
For these
Yes,
specific ones. Okay.
Correct.
And I
Yeah.
guess the next is blue yellow, but we will have that in another video as seems that we have run out of time for today. I want to thank everybody for viewing this video. It's our first podcast of Team 1328. There is a reason behind that, and these guys are the reason behind that. It's a hint if you backtrack to our championship regionals, and the hint is actually there. But thanks again to Elski and QJ for joining me in this session. I'm your host, JJP, by the way. I realized I didn't introduce myself. We'll be covering more of these cards for our community to know more about Dragon Ball card game. As we know, in Singapore, our community is relatively small, and we hope this video pertains more to them, and especially to all beginners out there, and even veterans, if some of the points we have mentioned wasn't discussed in other great videos that is out in the net. So yep, this is JP from Game Academia, Elski and QJ signing out today. I hope you can like and subscribe our channel, and if you have any comments, we'll be feel free to post them below, and we will talk about we'll probably go through your comments and answer them in our next video for raid. We actually did a raid video before this, but that was our first video, and it was too much of a lot of things happened, so we had to just skip to that and go to blue. So our next video will be raid, and we'll be also doing a starter deck review for more in-depth fact about that. So do check us out, like, subscribe, and follow us, and thank you. See you again.
Okay, thank you.
Bye-bye.
Well, that went well. Oh, and one more thing. We seem to have forgotten one very important key card. As I was like scrolling down earlier, I think I saw some of my Genshin Impact notification, and my mouse just keeps scrolling like nothing. So yeah, this card we have to definitely talk about it. So carry on, guys.
Alright, Ken. So just now we missed about this card.
Yeah.
So this card is actually a very important card in the new Trunks deck, because the thing is that let's say for example if you were to play the 3-drop Saiyamans out already, because it's either Earthling or Saiyan. So Verdell would also work and Gohan would also work as well. So as long as you're able to so if they're on the board, we can just tap one energy and play this card out. From your hand now. And the basically it just replaces itself in a sense that the card that is being played will be sent to the bottom of the deck. The card that is going to replace it from will be sent to the bottom of the deck, which is this Gohan or the Videl. Then after that, you'll be able to play this card from your hand. So one good effect about this card is that you can add up to one mono blue card with Tapion in the card name. So note, it is in the card name. So it can be the Tapion Sword, the Tapion's Unison, or the Tapion Battle card that we have talked about. So that is the impact of how the search area is from your deck. So any card that you are lacking at a point of time, right, will serve its purpose. That will serve its you will be able to find a card to serve the best purpose of what you want to do at that point of time as well. So after that, all you do is just shuffle the deck. And one plus bonus, which is what I feel from the card, is that when this card is played, choose up to one of your opponent's better card and return it to the owner hand. So if you're going for the kill turn, it has a barrier or it has a blocker, not barrier, then you can just remove it and try to go for game. So this is the reason why I feel that this card is actually really, really good, and it's a SR, and for an SR effect, it's really, really very decent. Yeah.
And
so
that's
that's all.
One mono blue, not any blue.
Yes, correct.
All right. Yeah. Okay. So QJ, anything to add?
Now, Elta has done a great job at covering what the main effects are. So I think that's great.
All right.
Correct.
Okay, and then this will conclude. Thank you guys, and
Thank
see you
you.
again next time for our
you.
either green or red review for the BT14 cards Cross Spirits. Bye.
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 Bye.